All right, so this is Brian Burley, Politician Reacts. Going to react to Major Williams' ad. It is called "It's Time to Think Major." This is going up on Facebook at first, and then it'll be split up and put on YouTube in the next day or two. Reacting to each of the ads that we have. There's only 2 candidates that have released ads here for the expected recall election later this year, and Major is one of them. So let's react to this one.
Hello, Californians. My name is Major Williams, and I'm running to become the 41st governor of California. Today, I'm in front of the courthouse. I believe in legislation is needed to be beneficial versus detrimental for our state.
Wait, he's in front of a courthouse, but he's talking about legislation. Did I get that right? Let's go back here. That doesn't make a lick of sense, at least based off the different branches of government that I'm aware of.
Hello, Californians. My name is Major Williams, and I'm running to become the 41st governor of California. Today, I'm in front of the courthouse. I believe in legislation is needed to be beneficial versus detrimental for our state.
That makes no sense. That he's in front of a courthouse talking about legislation. Okay, all right. Well,
and I also know what time it is. It's time to think major about the future of California.
This makes no sense.
I will stand for you. I will stand with you.
So once again, I just reacted to John Cox's interview from 2018. No one's talking about what they stand for. How far are we into this video? We are 49 seconds, and all I've seen is him talk about a courthouse, and he's been walking through an inner city. What is he trying to accomplish? I don't understand. This ad so far, garbage.
California needs a new brand of leadership. I represent that for us. It's time to really remedy our homeless issue, mental health hospitals, drug rehab, and wraparound services. It's time to clean off our sidewalks.
How are you going to do it?
Oftentimes, voters ask me, what's different? What makes you different than Gavin Newsom? To be honest with you, this is not the first time that I'm actually here in Skid Row, just for a photo op. I actually come here often with my nonprofit, sharing, helping, trying to understand how I can build value. Gavin Newsom, where are you? You're never here. They don't even know your name. California doesn't have to burn. But because of Gavin Newsom's ideology that this is because of climate change, the last 2 years...
Is he Smokey the Bear now? Like, I'm not trying to crack jokes, but it's just he's changing the location. I'll save it till the end.
Have been traumatic for so many property owners and residents of California.
Who, me, or
it's time for a
someone
brand
said he's not a smooth
that
talker on
understands how to
Facebook
manage
about
what's
me, or
going on right now. Climate
Smokey
change,
the Bear.
no. Forest management, yes. Grazing, yes. Logging, yes. This is the brand of leadership that I provide for you. As the next governor of California, I will never support bills like AB 5 that's going to take away thousands upon thousands of jobs from independent contractors. If you followed me on this journey thus far, you know that I 100% support law enforcement. I think it's important that we actually fund them even more, because who are you going to call? Not the Ghostbusters. You're going to call a police department.
All right. We've had Smokey the Bear and the Ghostbusters have been referenced in this video. He's going the long way of just saying that he's pro law enforcement. And the same thing with the whole forest fire thing. I mean, how long are we into this? This is already two minutes and change, and there's still another minute at least.
They're there for us. We should be there for them. California, what are you willing to tolerate? Are you going to tolerate leaders like Gavin Newsom that openly supports and signs on for bills like SB 145, which is going to allow child sex predators to have a free-for-all?
So most Californians don't know what the different Senate bills stand for. I like that he's trying to, in a way, educate people, but he has such a small opportunity to get people's attention. I don't know if he should be using that time to necessarily try to educate people on different Senate bills, because the average voter is not going to know probably what that Senate bill is. I mean, at least he's explaining what it is, but he could maybe be using his time about what he's going to do instead of what Newsom has done. Obviously, it's a recall on Newsom. He needs to address what he's done wrong, but he's replacing him theoretically. So what would he do differently? Specifically, he needs to be very specific.
When it comes to our kids, I, for one, will not stand for it. I am for California, I am for our families, and I'm for our kids. I love this state. This state has changed my life. I've met my wife, created a beautiful family. California gives me ambition. Lately, we've been on the decline. So it's time to restore that. And how do we do that? We do that by implementing new leadership, a different brand of leadership, to alleviate the weak leadership. My name is Major Williams. I approve this message. I am for you, and it's time to think major about the future of California.
So the last minute is probably the best portion of it. There's some major, no pun intended, there's some major issues in the ad. It just doesn't, he's funny at points, the whole Ghostbusters comment's funny, but is it really, that's the only thing I remember about the ad besides, I remember the forest fire thing because it just reminded me of all the commercials as a kid where you have, the park ranger, Smokey the Bear, explaining what's going on. Other than that, this is a copy and paste. We've seen it, and we've seen it with Kim Klacik, and we've seen it with John Collins. They both ran for Congress, and this is probably the worst version of that. There's, I ran for office, and people are saying, well, you should walk around your city and try to talk about what, because I'm running in 45 technically now, which will be a different number potentially with redistricting, but talk about what Katie Porter has or hasn't done. But when you look at this, he offers very little on specifics on what he's going to do, and I think with the position he's in, where no one really knows who he is, and obviously we don't want a career politician, most of us don't, to replace Newsom. At the same time, if we're fortunate enough to replace Newsom, it's got to be someone who knows what they're doing, or at least their way around government in a short period of time, because we're only going to have a year, and then there will be another election, and it'll be almost inevitable that Republicans would be in an uphill battle to keep that. It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, where if we don't have someone with that popularity, it'll be really hard to just keep him in office. Just based off the party registration dynamics, what is it, 24% are Republican. That's a fourth of the state. That's not even close to a 50% majority. So better quality-wise than the John Cox ad, but there's a lot of major issues with this thought that you have to be walking through an inner city, and it's the identity politics approach that we've seen in politics a lot lately, especially in California, out of Republicans. I think that's why the Republican Party's lost its way in a lot of ways in California, because we've put identity when we pick candidates before we put put the qualifications. So not trying to make any more puns, but some major issues in the ad. Better organization, better structure than John Cox's ad that I just looked at a little while ago, but also it's just too long. It doesn't say a lot in a over 3 minutes of ad compared to John Cox's, which is much smaller. And so yeah, that was my reaction to Major Williams for Governor's ad. It's Time to Think Major is the name of that. I will post on all of our reactions on YouTube. I'll post a link to the original video, so if you want to watch the original video, but this is what it is. If you can subscribe and like on YouTube, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you're on Facebook, make sure to like and share. Thank you.